Very warm welcome to all. Today, I, Ria Khanna, a legal intern under Lexis and Company, am here to give a case analysis on the case Shaira Bano versus Union of India, All India Record 2017, which is also known as the Triple Talaq case. The particular video you're watching is the part two of this topic, where the part one has been uploaded before. Now, let us understand and revise what we understood in the part one. So, in the part one video, we understood that on the 22 August 2017, the Supreme Court made a landmark decision on the constitutional validity of the Talaq-e-Biddat, which is popularly known as Triple Talaq, which is one of the three male-initiated divorces in the Muslim community. Further, in this case, we understood the background of the case, and we also understood the verdict of the case, and we were just analyzing the judgments of this case. Now, um, uh, in this case, in the Supreme Court case of Shaira Bano versus Union of India, this custom was declared unconstitutional by a majority of 3:2 ratio, which would have an ripple effect on various aspects of constitutional law, especially in the context of fundamental rights and its relationship with the personal laws in the country, while also having an impact on the social aspect of gender justice, which unfortunately the judgment does not discuss in detail, as it mainly focuses on the validity of triple talaq in context to marriage as an institution. Now, in the previous video, we had ended the analysis part on personal law and the constitutional law, where we talked about how Justice Khekar and Justice Khekar and Justice Nariman agreed on the authority of triple talaq. Now, let's understand right to equality under Article 14 with relation to this particular case. Violation of Article 14 cannot be only found out by the test of reasonable classification, but also by the use of arbitrariness. Justice Nariman holds the practice mainly void under arbitrariness. However, the conclusion at which he arrived seems to have been not based on the inequality of the two genders, but the religious based conception of triple talaq to be arbitrary. He does not necessarily show how inequality per se exists, but merely points out that this form of divorce is arbitrary because there is no mode of reconciliation. As pointed out by many scholars of the problem of arbitrariness, it just shifts the focus more on arbitrariness rather than actually pointing out where the inequality exists. Now, right to gender equality under Article 14 and Article 15. What is majorly missing in this judgment is the depth analysis of gender inequality. Surprisingly, even the petitioners did not bring out the inherent discrimination between the husband and wife and majorly focused on the practice of triple talaq being un Islamic rather than bringing out the ills of triple talaq. This created a political situation of cultural minority versus modernity debate. As minority groups like All India Muslim Personal Law Board saw this as a question on their Muslim identity. This case could have seen almost the same result as the case of Shah Bano case, where the judgment delivered by five-judge Hindu male triggered the Muslim community by a plea to invoke Uniform Civil Code and the adverse comments made by court against Prophet and Islam. All of this led to drawing of sharp boundaries where Muslim women were called on to choose between their religion and their gender claims. Ultimately, this led to Shah Bano completely renouncing the divorce maintenance. Fortunately, nothing similar to those lines have occurred in this case. However, maybe in the fear of not wanting a similar outcome, the judgment almost ended up completely ignoring such an important aspect of equality. Therefore, while giving the judgment in relation to equality, marriage as an institution was given a higher priority. Right to freedom of religion. As far as the religious aspects go, Justice Nariman did not agree that it would be under the protection of Article 25, as it only protects those practices which is an integral part of the religion, which many scholars and commentaries on the same in Sharia have said it is otherwise. While discussing triple talaq, especially the religious aspect of the case, Justice Joseph, who although agreed with Justice Nariman but took a different route to achieve the end goal, He disagreed with Justice Nariman that it was not upon the judges to decide on the religious matters. In fact, Justice Joseph goes on to say that when a private law is unclear on a particular issue, it is left for the judge to decide what the law means to say. Therefore, in this case, judge has to decide what is given scenario of particular practice or custom, as no one can. He looked at this case completely from the culture's point of view and chose to ignore the constitutional aspect, as according to him, the only legal sanctity of triple talaq in Muslim personal law needed to be determined. Now, it is no doubt that the triple talaq judgment has become a landmark judgment, especially on the aspect of private law in this country. It has given us various different aspects on how to deal with them, especially Justice Joseph's culturally grounded judgment. This judgment definitely showed that the Supreme Court has learned from its past mistakes on personal law, despite the fact that it lacked to give clarity on gender justice and inequality in personal law and how they are to be treated. It also did not address if setting aside triple talaq meant that it had no legal effect at all, or three utterance meant one. Therefore, all said and done, it is definitely a move towards equality and has given a backbone to how future personal laws and social amendments need to take place. This judgment also handled the minority is a very viable way, which is a step towards secularism. It is hoped that the judgment will be taken in the bright light and will help Muslim women to live a better and more secure life as guaranteed by the law of the land. Thank you so much.